Imagine a vault that holds billions of dollars worth of diamonds, guarded by the most advanced security systems in the world. But what if someone could cut through the layers of security that protect the world's largest diamond vault and loot almost all of its wealth? That's exactly what happened in 2003, when a gang of Italian thieves pulled off the Antwerp Diamond heist, one of the biggest and boldest heists ever. How did they do it, and where are the diamonds now? Find out in this thrilling video. Antwerp, Belgium, a city of culture, history and commerce, but also a city of diamonds. For over 5 centuries, Antwerp has been the diamond capital of the world, where 80% of the world's rough diamonds and 50% of the world's cut diamonds are traded. The heart of this trade is the Antwerp Diamond District, a small area of less than a square mile where hundreds of diamond dealers, brokers, cutters and polishers operate in a tight-knit community. The district is also home to the Antwerp Diamond Centre, a 4-story building that houses the offices of dozens of diamond companies, and more importantly, the vault where they store their precious goods. The diamond trade in Antwerp is a lucrative and secretive business that involves billions of dollars and thousands of people. The diamonds that pass through Antwerp come from all over the world, from Africa, Russia, Canada, Australia, and elsewhere. They are sorted, graded, cut, polished, and sold in Antwerp, where they are transformed from rough stones to sparkling gems. The diamonds are then exported to other markets, such as New York, London, Hong Kong, and Dubai, where they are used for jewelry, industry, or investment. The diamond trade in Antwerp is also a highly regulated and controlled business that follows strict rules and standards. The diamonds are certified by the Kimberley Process, an international agreement that aims to prevent the trade of conflict diamonds and human rights abuses. The diamonds are also registered and tracked by the Diamond Office, a government agency that monitors the import and export of diamonds in Antwerp. The diamond trade in Antwerp is also a highly competitive and risky business that attracts many players and predators. The diamonds are subject to theft, fraud, smuggling and violence, and the diamond dealers have to protect themselves and their assets from these threats. The vault was located on the 2nd floor of the Antwerp Diamond Centre, and it is a fortress within a fortress. It is protected by 10 layers of security, each more sophisticated and complex than the last. The first layer is a combination lock that requires a 4-digit code to open. The second layer is a key lock that requires a special key to open. The third layer is a magnetic lock that requires a magnetic card to open. The fourth layer is a light sensor that detects any changes in the light level inside the vault. The fifth layer is a seismic sensor that detects any vibrations or movements inside the vault. The sixth layer is a heat sensor that detects any changes in the temperature inside the vault. The seventh layer is a radar that scans the vault for any intruders. The eighth layer is a magnetic field that surrounds the vault and triggers an alarm if it is disturbed. The ninth layer is a camera that records everything that happens inside the vault. The 10th layer is a private security force that patrols the building and responds to any alerts. The vault is so secure that even the owners of the safes inside have to go through a rigorous process to access their own diamond. They have to make an appointment in advance, provide their identity and credentials, and be escorted by a guard to their safe. The vault is also monitored by a control room where a staff member watches the live feed of the camera and checks the status of the sensors. The vault is designed to be impenetrable, and for a long time it was. But how did the thief named Notar Bartolo and his gang manage to break into the vault and steal the diamonds? The answer lies in their meticulous planning, preparation, and execution. For more than 2 years, they studied the vault and its security systems using a variety of methods and tools. They used camera pens to take pictures of the locks and the keys. They installed a hidden camera in the ceiling of Notar Bartolo's office to record the movements of the guards and the staff. And they even built a replica of the vault in a warehouse in Italy, where they practiced their skills and techniques. They also obtained copies of the keys and the codes to the locks, either by stealing them, bribing someone, or making duplicates. They also acquired the necessary equipment to disable the sensors, such as a custom-made aluminium plate, a styrofoam carton, a long pole, a hairspray, and a can of black spray paint. They also prepared their escape route by renting 2 cars and a boat and hiding them in strategic locations. But how did they get the idea and the motivation to pull off such a risky and elaborate heist? According to Notar Bartolo, it all started with a mysterious diamond dealer who contacted him in 2000 and offered him a job. The diamond dealer, whose name and face Notarbartolo never revealed, claimed to be a former employee of the Diamond Centre who had access to the vault and its security systems. He said that he would pay Notarbartolo and his gang a fraction of the value of the loot and that he would keep the rest for himself. Notarbartolo was intrigued by the diamond dealer's proposal and agreed to meet him in person. The diamond dealer showed him a replica of the vault and explained the details of the plan. He also gave him a videotape that contained footage of the vault and its security systems that he had recorded using a hidden camera. He said that he had installed the camera in the ceiling of the vault and that he had access to the live feed. He said that he would guide Notarbartolo and his gang through the heist and that he would communicate with them using a walkie-talkie. Notarbartolo was impressed by the diamond dealer's knowledge and confidence and decided to accept the job. He recruited his gang and introduced them to the diamond dealer. He also rented an office in the Diamond Centre and posed as a diamond merchant. He used his office as a base of operations and as a way to gain access to the building and the vault. He and his gang spent the next 2 years preparing for the heist, following the diamond dealer's instructions and advice. They learned the routines and habits of the guards and the staff and the best time and day to strike. They also made sure to have alibis for the night of the heist by booking hotel rooms and making phone calls to their families and friends. They were ready to pull off the heist of the century. The night of the heist was Saturday, February 15th, 2003. It was a cold and rainy night, and the Diamond District was quiet and deserted. Notarbartolo and his gang arrived at the Diamond Centre around 11:30 p.m., wearing dark clothes and carrying backpacks. They entered the building using the keys and the codes and made their way to the second floor where the vault was located. They encountered no resistance as the guards were either absent or distracted. They opened the vault using the combination code of the lock, the key lock, and the magnetic lock. They entered the vault and found themselves in a large room with hundreds of safes, each containing millions of dollars worth of diamonds and other jewels. They quickly got to work and opened as many safes as they could, using the keys, the codes, or brute force. They filled their bags with the loot and left behind some empty boxes and papers to make it look like nothing had been taken. They also disabled the security systems using their tools and techniques. They covered the camera with the aluminum plate. They blocked the light sensor with the styrofoam carton. They neutralized the heat sensor with the hairspray. They jammed the radar with the pole, and they sprayed the magnetic field with the black paint. They also cut the wires of the alarm and left no fingerprints or DNA traces. They exited the vault and locked the door behind them. They left the building and got into their cars. They drove to a nearby forest where they transferred the loot to another car and set fire to the first car. They then drove to the river where they boarded the boat and sailed to France. They had successfully pulled off the heist of the century and they were on their way to freedom and fortune. But how did they manage to evade the sensors and the alarms? And how did they know which safes to open and which ones to avoid? The answer lies in the guidance and the assistance of the diamond dealer who was watching and communicating with them throughout the heist. The diamond dealer had access to the live feed of the hidden camera that he had installed in the ceiling of the vault, and he could see everything that was happening inside. He also had a walkie-talkie that he used to talk to Notarbartolo and his gang and to give them instructions and advice. He knew which safes belonged to which diamond dealers and which ones contained the most valuable and the most easily sellable diamonds. He also told them to limit the number of safes that they opened and to leave some of them untouched, to create the illusion that the heist was random and unplanned. He was the mastermind and the director of the heist, and he had everything under control. The police soon discovered the heist and launched a massive investigation. They found some clues and evidence that led them to the culprits, but they also faced some challenges and obstacles that hindered their progress. The first clue was a half-eaten sandwich that Notarbartolo had left behind in a trash bin near the Diamond Centre. The sandwich contained his DNA, which matched with a sample that the police had obtained from him in a previous case. The second clue was a videotape that Vergara had left behind in the same trash bin. The videotape contained footage of the vault and its security systems that the thieves had recorded using their hidden camera. The third clue was some of the loot that Donato had left behind in a private property where he had hidden it temporarily. The property owner found the loot and reported it to the police, who traced it back to Donato. The fourth clue was some of the diamonds that Donato had tried to sell in Italy and aroused the suspicion of the local authorities. The fifth clue was Tavano's confession that he made after being arrested in a separate case. He admitted his involvement in the heist and implicated the others. The police arrested all 5 members of the gang and charged them with the heist. They also recovered some of the loot, but most of it was still missing. The police estimated the value of the stolen goods at $100 million, but Notarbartolo claimed that it was only $20 million. He said that the diamond dealer had taken the rest and that he had no idea where he was or who he was. He said that the diamond dealer had guided them through the heist and that he had communicated with them using a walkie-talkie. He told the police that the diamond dealer had everything under control and that he had thought of everything. The other members of the gang gave similar stories and denied any wrongdoing. They also refused to reveal the identity of the diamond dealer or the location of the missing diamonds. The prosecution, however, dismissed their stories as lies and presented the evidence that they had collected. They also brought in experts, such as locksmiths, security consultants, and diamond appraisers, who explained the technical and financial aspects of the heist. They also brought in a surprise witness, a former friend and accomplice of Notarbartolo, who revealed some secrets and details about the heist that Notarbartolo had not disclosed. The jury found the thieves guilty and sentenced them to various prison terms, ranging from 5 to 10 years. Notarbartolo received the longest sentence of 10 years. The thieves appealed their sentences, but they were upheld by the higher courts. The thieves were sent to prison, and the case was closed. But the case was not really closed, as there were still many unanswered questions and unresolved issues. Where were the missing diamonds and who had them? Was there really a mysterious diamond dealer, and if so, who was he and why did he orchestrate the heist? How did the heist affect the diamond industry and the security of the vault? How did the heist inspire other heists and crimes, such as the Hatton Garden heist, the Brussels airport heist, or the Pink Panther gang? These are some of the questions and speculations that the Antwerp Diamond heist has generated, and that continue to fascinate and intrigue people around the world. But as of now, we have only one answer to all these questions, and that is Notarbartolo was the only mastermind, and there was not a diamond dealer. He made up a character in front of his gang so that it would be easier for him to shift all the blame to someone else if something wrong happens. And in this way, his gang members would also have believed that they have been working for some unknown diamond dealer and not Notarbartolo. During the heist, Notarbartolo was present in the car outside while his gang members were performing the robbery. This can be taken as one of the biggest climax reveal in the history of robberies. We hope you enjoyed this episode of True Crime Documentary and that you learned something new and interesting. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more episodes where we will uncover more fascinating and notorious crimes from around the world.